Yes, hello, my people. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. My name is Chief Apostle Alfred or John Oyinusa. The man with the talk and we done the show. As it be, tell friend truth, this boyfriend. Now, me see talk and say community where good people for keep quiet and bad will become general overseer. What is not good is bad. As part of our mandate of changing the negative narrative, supporter of good governance. It get one man, one honorable, wey be say e don fair be chairman for one local government like that. I know the year of this man. John Yakubu, who be this John Yakubu? Wetin he do for Esan land? When he be say for Esan Northeast, right?
Yeah.
So I see say the name dey fly up and I say today, anywhere in day, I wan go meet am. Make he tell Edo people and Esan people the secret of the success wey I take rule Esan
Northeast.
Esan Northeast as a former chairman and the legacy wey dey put for ground because I don hear so many good things that say me I will go find am come out and I still know say still dey PDP, umbrella wey dey bring better thing. Guy you want to am. So I dey here with am this afternoon, Honorable John Yakubu. Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you, Apostle of the Most High.
Araba.
I bless you. God bless you in Jesus' name. Thank you very much for the good work you yourself is doing. Because there are very few of you in town, so we thank God for that.
Well, thank you very much, sir. Obusa. Yeah. I dey try to learn Esan. I dey learn Araba. Obusa.
Yeah.
So, my people, we dey with your guy this afternoon. We're going to ask him some question. So we go want make him tell us the background, how many wife he gets, whether he gets one concubine, we don't know, the children, the business we don't do before he come enter politics to become former chairman, and from there we will begin the kete and the go. Maga, the floor is open. Talk to our people.
Thank you very much. I am John Yakubu.
Wow.
I am from Uromi, Esan Northeast local government. By the grace of God, I am about 57 years old.
Wow.
40 of those years are spent in Edo South, that I have lived it in Benin City.
Wow.
By the grace of God, I'm from a very humble background. There's nothing I didn't do as a child to survive. If we need to go into that, we may need to spend a lot of time. But suffice to say that, is it tapping of rubber? Is it selling of bread? Is it doing menial job? Nothing by the grace of God, but by the grace of God we survive. And today we are happy that all that we learned when we were very small, we're able to put it to play to be able to survive as a people. Well, that led me into Benin, and by the grace of God in 2007, I was elected as the chairman of Esan Northeast local government. Today I'm very proud to say that 10 years after I left office, 12 years after I left office in 2010 October, 12 years after, my people are still happy about the 2 years and 8 months I spent as chairman.
2 years.
2 years and 8 months and 10 months I spent as chairman, because that tenure, the then governor did not allow it to run to the end. But to the glory of God, like I said, we are in 2022. I left office in 2010. Like I said just now, even today, if you still go to Uromi, Esan Northeast local government, I'm glad that 12 years after, my people who supported me still can speak positively about me.
Wow.
That's what I took away from the council as a former council chairman.
Wow.
Now,
I know there is life after politics.
Yes.
And we get a lot of politicians out of they not get first office. So because they not get first office, they want to remain there in politics to begin to decide a lot of things. So outside politics, what you really do and what you call push you come politics?
Well, outside politics, like I said just now, my life has been a life of struggle.
Yes, sir.
Doing one thing or the other, legitimate thing to survive. Before I was called to be chairman of Esan Northeast local government in 2007, I had the businesses I was doing. Today, I'm a trader. Wow. I sell cement, I sell gas, I transport cement, and by the grace of God, I'm also into civil construction.
Wow. I
will tell you that the height of that civil construction was in the year 2002, when I had the contract to be the 100 best space hosted University of Benin. It was built by Joyak Ventures Limited. That's the name of my company.
Wow.
We completed it, we were paid, and I'm proud that any person that is what they call Hall 5.
Wow.
Well, Hall 5 in Uniben, female Hall 5.
Wow.
We had the opportunity of doing it, and we did it very well, and it's there. Outside that, like I said, I'm into gas, LPG, cooking gas. I'm into cement. I'm also into transportation of cement. So
wow.
That is what I do to survive. Even while I was chairman of Esan Northeast Local Government in 2007, while I was a sitting chairman, I was still selling cement.
Wow.
Yes, I was still selling cement, but I needed to survive. I needed to feed my family outside the local government money. I needed to survive as a person. I needed to grow as a person. So while sitting as a chairman, I was still a cement seller.
So which means bulk of the work wey you do for council,
yes.
na your company supply the cement.
No, not at all. Not at all. My company did not do any job in Esan Northeast Local.
Wow.
Not one.
Wow.
Not one.
Wow.
While I was doing that, I took holiday out of construction.
Wow.
My company did not do a single job in Esan Northeast Local.
Why?
Not even because as the sitting chairman, I needed to be transparent. Transparent in what I was doing. And to that extent, I didn't want a situation where you will go and say, oh, behind the scene, he's the person doing it. But the paper is showing another person. No. That did not happen when I was local government chairman. That the people can attest to.
Wow.
In the area of infrastructure, in the area of healthcare, in the area of security, name them. All the things by the grace of God, we were able to do them because our focus was how to deliver the dividend of democracy to our people. Today, if I go to Rumi, my people will see this on if on social media.
They will see.
They call me AKA double gutter. That because
why double gutter?
Because if I do a drain and there will rainfall, I will go there to observe. Immediately I discover that drain is not capable of taking the volume of erosion. I'll put a second one.
Wow.
It's there in Urumi for everybody to see. So that is why some people in Urumi, when they see me, they say, oh, AKA double gutter. That is the extent to which we went, while we were in council, I was the council chairman.
Wow. My people.
Yeah.
Good name is indeed better.
It's better. It's far better.
And we get the opportunity to ask questions. If some people all over the world, you have opportunity to ask the question. Sir, I beg you, tell the whole world some of your greatest challenges and achievements while you were a former chairman of Esan.
Well, we achieved a lot while I was council chairman. A lot by the grace of God. Even within the period of 2 years, 10 months, we could count 8 roads. 8.
Wow.
Which I asphalted from the beginning to the end. What I mean by asphalted, 8 road. Ugboni road.
Not to say you grade that.
No, I'm not talking of grading. Instead, as I speak to you, Apostle, I am not speaking to you alone. I'm speaking to my people.
Yeah.
They know this. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Done from the beginning to the end, asphalted and delivered.
Wow.
On the area of security, when we got to Esan Northeast Local Government, don't forget, just shortly before I assumed office, they had burnt the police station in Esan Northeast Local Government. That was my first project, because without security, you really cannot do anything.
Yeah.
I immediately reconstructed the police station and it was commissioned. I didn't stop there. I built a quarter
for the police.
It was 1 bedroom flat, a bedroom, a parlor, a kitchen, and a store. 10 units.
Wow.
As police quarter. It was delivered, commissioned, and given to the police. So 10.
I'll go there, go verify it.
It's there opposite the police station in Uromi. Okay. It's there opposite I built that police station. I built a police quarter.
Wow. 10
units. What I mean by 10 units now is that a 1 bedroom flat, a parlor, a bedroom, a kitchen, and a store. 10 like that, right opposite the police station. So while we were doing this, we also tried to make sure that some of the things that we needed to do for our people, we're doing them. I'll take you to the area of primary health care.
Good.
I just discovered that the healthcare staff in any local government take the bulk of the salary in all the local government. But what you ask yourself is that do they actually put in the duty, the effort for which they are paid for? One of these nights, I got up as a sitting chairman and I called my PA and I called the police on me. I said, by 1 o'clock tonight, we'll be visiting to some places. Say, Chairman, where are we going to? I said, don't worry. I said, by 1 a.m. this night, we'll be visiting some places. So just report yourself. They came. Myself, my driver, my PA, and my police were 4.
Wow.
I went around the whole health centers in Esan Northeast local government. That night, except to Zaya, which was too far. And to my disappointment, not a staff was found in any health center.
Wow.
But you go to the roster, you will discover that between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m., there are persons who are supposed to mount that position. The next morning, the head of the Dr. Okbere, who was the head of that section of the council, brought all the health workers to my office the next morning, and they were begging. And to that extent, immediately after that, my health centers in Esan Northeast local government now started functioning for 24 hours.
Wow. So
we did that not because of my personal benefit, but for the interest of the people. And in Uromi too, you have the central hospital. And at that time, there was only one doctor.
Wow.
No electricity, nothing. And what did we do? I called on the doctor. Unfortunately, he's late now, but the records are there for you to see. I said, look, we must not allow this to happen in the Esan Northeast local government. He said, Chairman, what do we do? I said, okay, I will engage 2 doctors, NYC doctors. I'll pay their allowances. I'll give them accommodation for the period I'll be chairman.
Wow.
So I approached the NYC and they gave me 2 doctors. They gave me 2 doctors. I came to Uromi, rented an apartment for them, paid their allowances, and they were there assisting the hospital until I left as chairman. Whether they still do it now, Apostle, I don't know.
Wow.
So for me, why I did all that was because you'll be given opportunity for 2 years or 3 years. You may not know, you may not have that opportunity again. That is the truth. What you're doing now, only God can speak of tomorrow. Do your best for the people. You really don't know what tomorrow will give. Don't say, oh, I have 2 years. Maybe if I'm given another opportunity for another 3 years, I will do better. No, do your best now. That was exactly what we tried to do. By the grace of God, like I said at the beginning of this interview, Esan Northeast local government today, 12 years after, are still happy about it.
They're still looking for you.
They're still happy about it.
Wow. Yes. Thank you very much, sir. Yes. There's something when you talk, when you say the thing just become like that, it shakes more. You say you tie 10 road, I mean 8 when you nobody say you grade them more.
No.
Now why be say now? It's hard for council to grade or to tie road. What you can change?
Well, I can only speak for myself.
Okay.
Because at that time we had a lot of challenges. And that was as a result of the fact of the kind of governor we had then. I will tell you as I speak, it would have been 10. Edo State and one other state would have been number 9 and 10. But unfortunately, the money we had on ground to do that road, about 74 million, and be specific. I wrote to the governor and I pleaded with him to release that money to us so that we can complete those roads. We have drains, we have completed the drains on both sides of the road. Edo State and one other, I think it did just street, yes. We have completed the drains on both sides of the road. Just give us this money so that we can asphalt these 2 roads. The approval didn't come.
Wow.
And I can tell you, you can go and verify, when we left in October, by December, that money was released and they celebrated Christmas with it.
Shit.
I'm not telling you, that money was released and they celebrated Christmas with it.
And the job was not done.
I said they celebrated Christmas with it December 2010. That was when that money was released. So it is not about how much you have as a council. It is about how much you want to do for the people. It is your dedication. Because when you are paid, when you go to campaign to be elected, even as councillor, you are begging the people to employ you. And when they employ you, you also at least allow them to have the benefit of the dividend of democracy. So use the money for yourself. I mean, we were 18 in 2010 we left. We see ourselves on the street. If I have stolen all the money in the council in 2010, by the grace of God, I don't think I will still be spending it now. But I left there with my integrity intact and came back 1 week after I left as council chairman. I started traveling on Bajana Road to go and buy cement in Obajana. Yes, I started traveling on Bajana Road 1 week after. I came back to my store, cleaned the place, and I started going back to buy cement. And to the glory of God, we are still able to survive. We are still able to eat. We are still able to eat. But there are some persons. Let's not go there. Okay, that's how it is, Apostle. We thank God for where we are.
Any question?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
So far, sir, you have been able to manage your business for a period of time.
Yeah.
How are you able to sustain these businesses in this harsh economy?
Well, depends on what you want to do. There is a man in my town. He's late now. Unfortunately, his children, business-wise, didn't take after him. That is a person of Chief Irobe, the Arala of Oromi. Then he said, honesty is the best policy. Once you are honest in whatever you do, once you are honest in your business, no matter how difficult it is, somehow you will go through it. Today you tell somebody, I'll give you 2 million tomorrow because you are giving me goods of 10 million. I'll pay you 2 million tomorrow. Maybe next tomorrow I'll pay you 2.5. And you hold on to that promise. When you request for a product worth 100 million, that same person will give it to you. Well, before you go back to asking me question here, telling you about myself, something I want to tell you about agriculture in the Esan Northeast local government, which I think this present administration, the government of today, can, in the next 2 years, can probably practice that will lead to, when we shout about agriculture, when we talk about how to improve on it, that can probably lead to it. In 2008, I called a staff meeting and said, look, we must employ a technical officer for people who farm for us. We employed one, and what was his job? Teaching our people on how to use modern implement in farming.
Wow.
I didn't stop there, and I called them for a meeting and said, look, we are talking about producing corn, watermelon, cocoa, and what have you. We cannot begin to plant the native corn and will expect that we'll have bumper harvest.
No.
So what we'll do is that we'll go to IAROA Ibadan. We went there, Apostles of the Most High. We went there and I bought 4 metric tons of maize for planting.
Wow. 4 metric tons.
4 metric tons. I bought it. I brought it to Uromi. I'm speaking to Uromi people. I'm speaking to people who were in the council when I was council chairman. And they knew and they are aware of what I'm going to say now is the correct thing. I brought it to Uromi. There is an expanse of land. They are now using it for studio in Uromi.
Yeah.
I said, yes, that land was the virgin land. Then nothing was happening there. I called them and I sent people there to go and clear the place. They cleared it on a particular day, I think on a Tuesday. I closed down the council, took part of that corn, which we bought from Ibadan.
Yeah.
Called all members of staff. I led that to that place and I started planting. We all planted. Everybody in the council, not the staff was left behind. We planted. After planting, I called the farmers in Uromi and I divided the rest for them free.
Wow.
When we finished, 3 months after we harvested, to the glory of God, the records are there. Corn we planted, staff member led by me, we sold over 580,000 naira.
Wow.
And when I was counting, you see, why did I do that? I demonstrated that so that the people will realize how it is to, because when our people sit down and say, oh, fertilizer is meant for the north, we don't know how to use fertilizer. It is because they've not been told. They don't even know. Some our people still plant tomato and they use the old method, use the old tomato to plant, and they're not getting good result. How do you do that in the 21st century? How? Whereas there are technical officers, people who read agric university, who are there everywhere. Employ these young men. Let's begin to tell our people how to do it so that they do it well. What happened after that? After we sold it for 580,000, and we put it in the council, profit for the council. We didn't spend a dime. It was cleared, we planted, we went and we harvested, and we sold it. What happened? In 2013, when I was contesting the election again, farmers in Esan Northeast local government contributed over 1.5 million.
Wow.
I'm not, they are here. I don't want to begin to name them now, but when they are assuming some of them sees this clip, they will know that I'm speaking it. About 5 of them contributed over 1.5 million. What did they do? So look, that corn you gave us, wow, which we planted, you gave us free of charge. We made a lot of money from it. What am I saying? How do you allow, you are saying farmers should give us, they give us food. How do you allow them to plant in the old ways and expect that we're going to get results
in a new way?
It's not possible. If you must have, farmers must plant tomato, they must be given the seedlings. If they must plant corn, they must be assisted with the modern way of doing it. Wow. And that is why Ibadan is there. If you want 10 metric tons of those things today in Ibadan, all you just need to do is to pay them and they'll pay it for you.
Till tomorrow.
Till tomorrow, they're there. That's why IAROR or something like that. That's why they are there in Ibadan. They're not doing any other thing. I sent my staff. The records are there. I sent my staff there. They inquire of the price. We paid. And we also send the staff there to go and bring it. Because after that, we started planting. So what I'm saying in essence is that we must be selfless. We must have the mind of doing the right thing. We must try as much as possible. Because if we are not careful, if we are not careful, Apostle, this system will collapse on us. So, if we are not careful, it will collapse on us.
With the way things are going.
The way things are going. If we still believe there is so much to steal in government, then we are making a mistake.
Wow. The last time I remember you contested for, you follow one candidate contest for deputy governor of the state. Yeah. And also remember again. I beg, throw more light on her because do you still have any future ambition? Because you have done a lot of work. And we talk to our people.
Well, by the grace of God, Apostle, I was the deputy governorship candidate to Pastor Osage Izeyamo in 2016 that contested with this present administration. We lost because that's what the result shows. But by the grace of God, we won all the local government in Edo Central. That is my Esan speaking. I remember when we went to the Onoje I remember the local government now. It was the duty of pastor to introduce me as his running mate. And he got up speaking to the Onoje. He told him, look, I want to introduce to you John Yakubu, my deputy governorship candidate. The Onoje just stopped him and said, look, you don't need to introduce Yakubu. I think that's the Onoje from Omwale's village. I remember this thing now.
Wow.
He said, you don't need to introduce Yakubu. We know him. We refer to him as one allocation, one road. That's what he said. He's alive. If he sees this clip now, he will remember when he said to Pastor, what I'm saying is that yes, I contested with Pastor Osage Izeyamo. By the grace of God, we won in our Centurial district. We lost that election to the present government. Any person who wants to run for election, if the people of Edo State today believe that I can contribute my own quota positively to the development of this state, who am I to refuse that? But it has to be that this is exactly what the people want, because it is about service. It is about the people. It is about doing what you promised to do. And that was how and why I was chosen as the deputy governorship candidate to assist Izeyamo. Actually, I was going to be the catalyst in that government.
Wow.
I was going to be the unseen catalyst in that government. Because in a process, in a chemical reaction, there's a catalyst. You really don't see it. But it quickens that reaction. I was going to be the catalyst in that government. But unfortunately, we were not voted for. We lost that. Well, I am still here. I'm still strong. I believe that if Edo people believe that I have something to contribute to the development of this state, I strongly believe that they'll be there to assist me to do it.
Now, you just said something.
Yeah.
how they go fit assist you to do am wey you not tell them say see me I wan contest because dem no fit just get it night just say John Yakubu we hear say na when you now okay my people me I wan serve I dey here.
You see, Apostle, I'm an Edo man.
Wow.
I'm an Edo man. I've lived. Why I count myself as an Edo man is that I have lived all my life in Edo South Senatorial District.
Wow.
I was born in Edo Central Senatorial District, and I schooled in Edo North Senatorial District. And sometimes when Edo North people speak, there's nothing they say that I don't. When they talk, I will quickly say, "Otomo killer." They will quickly respond. They will adjust. Why am I saying this? I'm an Edo man, and by the grace of God, when it comes to Edo, I have lived here. I have not lived elsewhere.
Wow.
When it comes to the development of Edo State, to the glory of God, I think together with very serious-minded Edo people, we can take Edo to the next level.
Wow.
It is not a job for one man. I'll tell you one thing. Today, Ring Road is the most beautiful ring road, Edo Ring Road in Nigeria. What I mean by that, it was conceived by our forefathers. Yeah. Anytime I drive around Ring Road, I'll ask myself, you mean the people sat down and reserved the whole of this place and said nobody should beat here? What we call Ugere Unuromi.
Yeah.
That was the Ugere then for the Oba of Benin. You mean some people had this idea? Yes.
The planning.
Now, we have another ring road coming up in Benin. One part of it has been completed. The second one, if we want Benin to explode and expand in the dimension and the way that we want to go, the second aspect of that ring road must come about, no matter how much it will cost.
Wow.
You understand? So when it comes to bringing myself forward, yes, at the appropriate time, when we begin to think of telling the Edo people, yes, this is what I think I want to do.
Okay.
At the appropriate time, I will begin to tell the Edo people, yes, if I'm given opportunity, I will do A, B, C, and D.
Then we're ready to hold you by the hand.
Yes, do A, B, C, and D. Because that is the only thing, that integrity that I have is the only thing that I have to offer to the people, not money. Because I'm not a rich man, I don't have the money to throw around, but I'm satisfied.
Wow.
Now, when the time comes, at the appropriate time, some persons are already asking this question that you have just asked.
Yes, sir.
Some even have come to discuss with me. We have discussed about it in so many places. But Apostle, the battle to have something after our present governor is in the hands of Edo people.
It's in the
hands of Edo people.
Wow.
It's in the hands of Edo people. I'm not saying it's in the hand of party A, it's in the hand of party B. No, it's in the hands of Edo people.
Wow.
Knowing where and what we want to do and how we want to achieve it.
Wow.
So if that is important, then we must rise up now to begin to fill the gap.
There's a slogan going on around in town right now.
Yeah.
They say, it's our agenda, it's our agenda, it's our agenda. Thank God you're an Esan man, but don't rock in me. So I want to make you throw light on this. Because it's very, very important to me.
Well, Esan agenda, Apostle, I would rather want to go with the Edo agenda. To be honest with you, I am serious about this. I was born in Esan land. I was born in Uromi specifically. I grew up in Uromi. My first 17 years I spent it in Uromi. The remaining 40 years of my life now I spent it in Benin here.
Wow.
So whatever I have in Uromi today, whatever I do in Uromi today, I work from Edo South Senatorial District. So I want to see Edo agenda.
Not Esan agenda.
Not Esan agenda. Not
wow.
I am an Esan man. If elected, my people will be happy that somebody who was born in Uromi is now probably the governor of Edo State. But the agenda on how to take Edo to the next level, where Esan, my Esan people will be part of, is what is my concern.
Go.
Where the Afemai, the Esako will be part of It's my concern. Will be my concern if I actually come into the field to want to contest the next election. Wow. Because if you begin to talk of Esan agenda, yes, an Esan man will want to rule Edo State. Yes, a Benin man will want to rule Edo State.
Yeah.
I am an Edo man. I am an Edo man. In short, on the lighter mood, I think I am qualified to begin to have chieftaincy title. On a lighter mood, because this is where I have spent my life, and this is where I'm still going to spend my life, by the grace of God, except when I probably now fully retire. I say, okay, let me go home and stay with my villagers and live the remaining. But only God knows that. But as it is today, I want to repeat that my agenda will be a Edo agenda,
not Esan agenda.
Not Esan agenda.
Wow.
I'm an Esan man, but pursuing an Edo agenda.
The first time they hear this kind of voice, when we say, this self-centered.
No.
Yeah, will they come?
Yeah.
We'll get there. Quickly, sir, the area of education.
Yes.
When you be chairman before.
Yes.
How you dare operate?
Well, good. In all aspects, in education, I will tell you, there's a model primary school in my village. At that time, Comrade Adams Oshomole was remodeling all the primary school across the state. Yes. You can't take that one from him. But he left out a primary school in my village.
Wow.
What did I do? I went to that primary school, built the primary school from scratch, put computer in primary 6, 5, and 4.
Wow.
For computer teaching for children who are in 4, 5, and 6. I did not stop there. Education is key to the development of any society. I did not stop there. I called all the SS3 together in Uromi. I had a town hall meeting with them. I said, look, any person going for healthcare education, nurse, doctor, in the next 2 years, whoever is able to gain admission into School of Nursing, the council will give you a sum of 250,000 naira.
Wow.
And I can tell you the records are there. I have over 20.
Wow.
Which we gave to them. And by the grace of God today, they are all practitioners.
Wow.
They are there. It's in short, I did it, gave this thing to them. Now let me tell you one thing. By the grace of God, given the opportunity, we must have to a very large extent, reform the primary and the post-primary to GSS3. Sometimes I walk the street of this town, I see some children by 8:30, they are still on the street going to school. That cannot be. That cannot be. If you must bring forth children, you must at least be prepared to, I'm not saying you should pay for them to go to primary and junior secondary school, but you must be prepared to allow, at least guide them to school. You can't have a child in the house that is less than 10, paid for by government to go to primary school, paid for by government to go to junior secondary school, and he's sitting at home. Doing nothing. You pay for the consequences.
Wow.
You will, because government should not allow it. If I have the opportunity of being even given the opportunity to look into this sector, why I'm outside government should not allow it. I will not allow that to happen. We did not allow that to happen while I was chairman of local council. I go around the primary schools to make sure that the teacher, because we pay them.
Wow.
We pay them. I go around all the primary schools to make sure that they are there, seated on their table to teach our children. Because that is my primary responsibility. I was not paid to come and stay in Benin. I was not paid to go and stay in London or stay in Ghana. I was paid to stay in Uromi, look over Uromi and make sure that the thing were done properly. And to the glory of God, we did that. To the best
of your knowledge.
Of my knowledge, we did that. But if my people are still appreciating it, it means we did well.
Wow. Wow. All these things,
yes.
You know, say there's a slogan, say go and verify. Me, I'll go verify all these things. My people, I will go verify.
Apostle, let me tell you.
You carry me work out all these things.
Let me tell you something. When we were elected in December 2007, by July 2008, I did not have an official car. I was driving my own car.
I'm talking again.
No, I said we were elected in December 2027. until around July, this can be verified, until around July 2008, I did not have an official car.
Why?
Because that was not the priority. Because it was going to cost me about 4.5 million naira to buy a new car. And I had so many other things to do with that money. And I had my personal car to take to the office. So I was driving my personal car till July, when the people started shouting, how are you the chairman and you don't have an official car? May his soul rest in peace. Around July 2008, Tony Aneni came from Abuja and called me specifically and said, we were discussing in the evening when I went to greet him. He asked me a question. I said, John, I said, Daddy, that's what I call him. He said, you don't have an official car. I said, Daddy, is that the problem of this council now? He said, wow. But that's what I'm hearing. They say you don't have an official car. And why were some people saying that? Because a car I needed to drive was 4,900,000 naira and advances. As council chairman, I could get about 1.8 million naira from that. How do you do it? All you needed to do was to add 25% to 4,900,000.
Wow.
And that one person to go and bring it, and you pay. But what did I do? The receipts are there. I said, no, since it is now a slogan in the town for some very selfish people, that you don't get car, you don't get car.
Because okay. You depend them from the
I will have an official car, but I will buy that car directly from Edo State. I call Edo State. How much is an advances? They say 4,900,000. How much is it to bring it from Lagos to Rome? They say 50,000. I called the accountant, I called the TLG. We went to a meeting. ESCO approved the 4,950,000. They said, about 10% for retirement. No, I said, not to worry. Well, let the car come first.
Before we retire.
They brought. I don't want to go into that first, because if I go into that, they brought the car. That file was not, we paid with the receipt. That file was not retired until I left the council. But I did not allow any person
to collect free money.
Because this is a car. It's not something you needed to pad again. Deprive the people of the local government of 2 million.
Wow.
And that also caused me problem during our social media era. I will tell you this very small story.
I want to hear.
I will tell you this very small story. He called us to a meeting and told us that we were to buy healers for police. Because all these healers you see, at the time we're council chairman, what they do is that the governor will call you and say, I will be giving police 25 healers, new one. We say, council chairman, okay, one, go and buy one. we got to a meeting and he said we were going to buy that each council, I think already was to buy two, they got to buy two and Ikuba, because they were metropolitan local government. But for my council, we were to buy one. And said, okay, we are going to deduct 6.2 million naira from your allocation to buy it. I raised up my hand. I said, Your Excellency, I just called Edo State now. I'm not telling you can verify this from any of the council chairman that was with me. I said, sir, I just called Edo State now to find out the cost of these silos, and they are saying 3.6. I will not allow any person to deduct 6.2 from my allocation. Another man was my commissioner.
Wow.
He said, Yakubu, are you calling us thieves? I said, no. I'm not saying you are a thief. I'm only saying that this is the cost of the healers. Then, if we must buy one year, the council is ready to buy one. But for you to deduct 6.2 as instead of 3.6, I will not allow it.
Wow.
There was trouble. That was the day they told me in the meeting. Say, I'm going to fire you from a distance. Wow. Yakubu, you are holding the cutlass in your hand. I had a machine gun. I will fire you from a distance.
And he fire you.
When we left that meeting, my mates came out and said, Yakubu, I beg you, make you allow us to be this tenor. This one, when you deal with comrades, so make you not let this man, make you not let, you can verify this.
Wow.
I don't want to name the man who finally supplied those cars in Benin. It's a Benin man who finally got the contract. But nobody deducted 6.2 from my allocation for that.
You stand your ground.
No, I would not have allowed that now. I would not have allowed that because I had a contract with Uromi people and not a contract with the governor. Another thing that happened, which is also in the public domain, when they have deducted, when I started hearing, when the president said recently that governors are deducting council's allocation, I felt it was too late for him, too late to cry when they heard his song. That he should have done about 6-7 years ago.
That's 6-7 years ago
when he came as president.
Not now.
He should stop saying it.
Wow.
Because I experienced the bitter part of it. When Comrade came to be the governor of Edo State, they started doing illegal deduction, and I was shouting, "You can't do this to me." A time came, we were just in a meeting, Apostle. He brought a piece of paper and said, well, all the 18 local government chairmen have agreed to seek 10% of their allocation to state government.
Wow.
That we should all sign. The council chairmen are available, they are alive. None is dead. None is dead except Umu-Ode.
And a number high.
Umu-Ode, and they are still alive. They started signing, 18 of them. It got to my table where I was seated, and I read it. That we, the 18 local government, now Afghan, this thing in Edo State, we have agreed that every month, 10% of our allocation should be deducted and sent to state government. And I read through it, and I saw my portion, John Yakubu, Esan, notice local government. I didn't sign, I passed it to the next person.
Wow.
Because I was ready to go home. When the 17th I signed, I didn't sign. Comrade asked me, I said, Chairman, sorry, Your Excellency, I need to go back to Oromi to discuss this with my people. Because I don't have the power. I was not given the power to seek 10% of my allocation to any person.
Wow.
He was very angry. But I didn't sign. The permanent secretary is still alive. For that month they deducted, the second month they deducted, my allocation was not released to me.
Wow.
Was not released to me, and I didn't say anything. When they had deducted the second month, we came to about 600 and something million. The other chairman started shouting. Zakano was the speaker, then they wrote that Comrade was doing a deduction unknown to law. What was Comrade defense? Comrade sent the permanent secretary to the House of Assembly to defend him, and he went with the paper they signed.
Hey.
and said, look,
This
sign is 17 of them signed. John Yakubu did not sign. For that reason, we did not deduct from John Yakubu's account. That was the day they released my 2 months allocation.
Wow.
That was the day they brought my allocation. And the pressure from the people was high, because when we were not getting allocation, my staffs were angry. Don't mind him. Is it the only chairman? Wasabi, now let you day all that sign, you don't want sign. Now we don't have money to do this. I say, well, if I'm asked to go, I will go. Whoever is assigned to be the chairman, he can go and sign it off. For me, I will not do that. And I didn't do it. It's on record. The House of Assembly under Zakarano passed a resolution mandating the then governor of the state to refund the money they deducted.
Back to the council.
Not a dime was sent back to them. The resolution, if you can go to the house, so it's there. So, given my antecedent, given who I am by the grace of God and where I'm coming from, given the opportunity to do anything for the state, it will take the same line. It will follow the same line of making sure that the little that is available to the people is spent on behalf of the people.
Not to start throwing passion.
No.
Man.
No.
Now, people, story full ground, but because of time, we go. Any question there?
There's 2 major questions.
Please, ask them.
This one says, sir, how would you describe governance under this present administration?
Well, this government will probably be misunderstood by a lot of people. There are 2 things happening in this government. One, the governance aspect, that's running the government itself.
Yes.
And the political aspect of government. 2. You see, these are the 2 things happening. From the political angle, a lot of things have gone wrong for our great party, the PDP. A lot. And I begin to wonder
what's going on
when we will begin to retrace our step as a party. If we don't, we will pay for it.
Wow.
That has been my advice, even to government and to everybody involved. That has been my advice. Right now, you see, I'm speaking on the political aspect now. Yes. I will come to the other aspect.
Yeah.
I have advised. Today we are in court. Tomorrow we'll be in court. Next tomorrow we are in court. there is no intra-party squabble that can successfully be resolved by court. You can resolve inter-party between APC and PDP,
but not the same party.
Not the same party. Whatever differences we have as a party, we want to sit down in this party and resolve it.
Not the court.
Not the court.
Because the
court cannot help us. Even if a judgment is passed tomorrow for any group, will pay the price. That is on the political aspect. On the side of governance, you see, when you begin to sow, that is why in the Bible you said a seed must fall down and die.
Send the water.
Die before it begin to come up. I was one of those who campaigned for this administration on national television, and those things I saw then by the grace of God, I still see them, I still begin to see them manifesting one way or the other. It might not be on the speed people want it to be. I was driving from Warri. I attended a meeting in Warri last week, and I was coming. I saw the gas, this thing on the left-hand side, and I saw the refinery on the right-hand side. And beyond the refinery, they told me there's green hill. Yes, it's there and all that. We must begin to look at these areas and see how the government can continue to improve on them to the benefit of the people. I still strongly believe that we need to improve on the infrastructure of this state to make it a working state, not a civil servant state.
Like what the government is trying to change now.
We must pay the price of making sure that these things are put on the ground. We must pay the price of making sure, we must put ourselves of making sure that these things are done. And when we continue to do it well, I think the people will benefit. There's one thing I appreciate about this present administration, I must say, is that in terms of building, in terms of putting a building down, you will discover that the level and the structure of that building is the type that will stay the test of time.
Wow.
I'll tell you an example. I'll give you one example.
Please do.
The High Court, for example.
Wow.
Over time, I'm sure those high courts would have existed for about 40 years.
Yes, sir.
If no more. Because those are the courts we met when I came to Benin 40 years ago. Those are the courts I met, and those courts have existed even before I came.
Yeah, they've been there.
They've been there. You have used the money for it. If they sometimes show you, if I have been in government, if they sometimes show you the file for renovating those structures over 40 years,
you run.
You run. But today, what you have there,
brand new one.
Not just a brand new one, the one that you can attest to and say, yes, in the next another 40 years, this building is here, and you don't probably need renovation for this building to stand the test of time. The second one is the festival hall.
Yeah, the government house.
I used to see, it was your festival hall that had my swearing-in ceremony in 2007. That festival hall would have also have existed for over 50 years. and they too would have spent so much money
on
renovation and rebuilding. You see, that was why when I was living in Esan Northeast local government, I discovered that for the period the council existed, they were renting quarters for chairman, even for people who were living in Uromi. I lived in my house all through when I was local government chairman, because I had a house there. But for somebody who probably is going to come from outside, you need a place. I immediately started building a council quarter.
Wow.
And among the council quarter is the quarter made for the DPO in terms of security. Because you need to secure the people before you start thinking of any other thing. And today that structure is there. Any person coming as chairman will go and live. If you don't have a place to live in Uromi, go and live there. Rather than spending thousands and hundreds of millions to rent a facility that belongs to another person. So when I saw that building, and the first time I entered, I looked at it and said, look, I just smiled. It takes the thinking, a visionary, to to believe that rather than continuing in this old way, let's do it the right way. But what we must pay, we politicians, we must pay the price. We must pay the price to make sure that what is meant for the people is used for the people. So that is how I look at the present situation. Yes, it cannot be a perfect situation. It can never be a perfect situation. Not even when Jesus Christ was alive, when they nailed him to the cross, they were happy because they felt they have done right. It can never be a perfect situation. But where it is right, it is right. Where it is wrong, it is wrong. All we need to do is to begin to look at how we can right the wrong. That is my view, and move forward. That's my view about.
Well, the last question.
Please, sir, tell us your educational background. We are interested.
I'm not go school. Okay, by the grace of God, I that's why I said just now, I'm an Edo man. I had my polytechnic education. I finished from Esan Grammar School. I left Esan Grammar School in 1982 when I was barely 17, and thereafter I was admitted to read accounting in Auchi Polytechnic, which I did successfully. Had my youth service in, that's why you have my youth service in NNPC Port Harcourt. I had my master's in University of Benin. By the grace of God, I left the University of Benin as an MBA holder in 1999. So that is my background as far as my education is concerned. I didn't travel abroad to go and get anything. I got all here, and I'm using all here to do the business I think I can do well, and to the glory of God. At the end of every month, there are over about 30-something people who through Joyak have something to take home.
Wow. Over 30-something
or 40-something who through Joyak Ventures Limited have something to take home as their salary. And in our business, my staff can attest to that. No matter how small we pay them, we pay the 13th month.
Wow.
Yes, you can ask my staff, we pay the 13th month.
Wow.
Today is 7. What they do is that by the 20th of this month or so, they would have paid the 1st December, and on the 30th or so, they pay the 2nd December. Yes, we pay the 13th month. As small as it is with salary, we pay them. But we pay them double salary every December.
Double salary
every December. If you are earning 50,000 for Joyak, by December you get 100. If you are earning 100, by December you get 200. I just use that as an example to encourage them, because they are my assets. They are the reason why I'm not suffering. They are also the reason why I didn't need to dip my hand into the council cover when I was chairman, because they were there. They were there making reports, doing the best they could to make sure that the business was on, and then we did this stuff. They wrote a petition against me in 2009
Who wrote the petition?
to government that Kedo gas plant in Sapele Road is owned by me, and it was built from the council's money. So they set up a committee. Looked at it, he did it. So when they came, Kedo started in 2003.
Wow.
When they went into investigation, they discovered that Kedo was already there even before I was elected chairman. So a lot of people thought that we beat that place from there. I beat Kedo in 2003, and it was there all through. In short, when I was chairman of council, the Gas Dealers Association in Edo State came to Uromi as a group to congratulate me. And while I was still there, they were still doing business with me, though I didn't have to be involved because I was a public servant.
Well, finally, now, thank God you're into gas business.
Yes.
Now we are filling gas. I will talk as it be. We dey fill gas now for 12.5 kg for 9.5, so 10,000.
Yes.
And Oga John Yakubu in a gas dealer. So Abemona Edo ask him, why gas on the dear? Why we no dey fit buy gas for Benin and for Nigeria?
In short, Apostle,
Sir.
This battle, I don't fight them. About 4 months ago, I was in the National Assembly.
Okay.
Because I'm a member of NAMGA, National Association of LPG Marketers. I'm the Midwest Zonal Chairman.
Wow.
Why did we go to Abuja? The people, you are paying too much for LPG. It's sad. Well, as of today, you said 9,500, 10,000. Yes, that is some places. But as of today, we said 12.5 for 9,300.
Wow.
It is painful that Nigerians are paying that much for 12.5 kg. How? A year ago, I can show you some documents. We were buying 20 metric tons for less than 4 million. But as we speak today, 20 metric tons of LPG is 12.4, 12.8 million, excluding transportation. I've had cause to want to create, I won't say, we wrote the Ologbo gathering plant.
Yeah.
LPDG, or what we call LPDC gas plant in Ologbo.
Yeah.
Is the biggest in Nigeria. When they started operation, we thought we'll be happy about it. My plant in Sapele Road is less than 10 kilometers to LPDC gas plant. I don't have the power to leave gas there. Rather, they gave the allocation to portfolio investor. Somebody in the north came to me and said, look, Kedo, we have gas to sell. I said, from where? I say LPDC. I said, I'm not buying. You don't have plan. We have. So we must, I'm using this avenue again to call on government. We must, as a matter of fact and as a matter of urgency, begin to think of how to reduce the price of gas for our people. It's sad. Now we fought to a point that LNG, they started giving 100% of their production to domestic market. What I just LNG is an international organization domiciled in Nigeria. Before now, they will give us just 40% and export the rest. As I speak to you now, Mobil and one other organization export LPG. And we go again to overseas to go and bring import LPG to Nigeria. Yes.
Jesus.
So this country is a country of contract. We go, as we speak to you now, the one given to us by LNG is just about 50-60%. For you to get gas to use in Nigeria, we have to import.
We have it here.
Oh my God. I said Mobil is exporting. If not of government intervention, LNG that is not giving us 100% was exporting. They just give us then we will now go abroad to go and bring again.
Wait.
You don't understand.
Wait. They carry our gas to abroad. They will not go back to abroad to buy and bring it back.
I'm telling you now, there are two, Mobil and one other company, as we speak now, they export.
Jesus.
The one produced by LNG is not enough for the domestic market.
Yeah.
But to the glory of God, what they do now, after we have cried out on television, on radio, LNG have decided to give us 100. All they produce now, they don't sell it to us. They sell it to us at the international price. Oh.
Wow.
They don't sell it in naira. They sell it in dollars. Yes, it's okay. But what do others do? This LPG is exported. We'll go and buy abroad again to bring to our domestic market. So I really don't know. I told you I have been in the National Assembly over 3 times because of price of gas. I'm not happy about it because a 20 metric ton I was buying for 3.5 million and was making, I was assuming 100,000. I'm still using 12.5 million to buy the same 20 metric ton and still realizing the same 100,000. Because if I increase the price to a point, people will not buy.
Wow.
It's not like we were trading with 5 million before. You make 500,000. When you are now pricing with 10 million, you make 1 million. No. The marginal profit remains the same. But we now have to deploy more capital to acquire it. That's the challenge we are having. So for gas, in short, last month I was in Abuja because the office of the vice president and some stakeholders in India organized a seminar stakeholder meeting in Abuja. I spent 3 days in, and what we India example, it was what we tried to look into and see how we can replicate it in Nigeria. But because of price, how do you buy gas for 9,300 for 12.5 kg? For a family of 4, it will take you 2 weeks.
It's 2 weeks is gone.
Then how much is the salary of the family of 4? That battle will continue. I will continue to fight that battle. I am known to be the forefront of that battle across the nation. So we'll continue to fight that battle until it comes down to the level that the ordinary man can afford.
My people, this issue of gas, we will schedule another day for a special interview for this gas matter. Okay, I bet you will give us time.
Yes.
This gas matter.
Yes.
We want to treat them special.
I will be very happy because there are a lot of things I want to say about it, so that government can, when government sees it, they can begin to look into it. That's what I refer to as diabolical esprit de corps on the issue of gas pricing. You cannot treat Nigeria the way you are treating them now and expect them not to react. And I don't know why we are not reacting.
Now that is diabolical.
So I don't know why we are not reacting. You don't expect to treat us the way you are treating us for a thing we have, a thing we are producing. Just walk across the Benin Republic and check how much LPGs we sell for.
My people, una do well. We don't hear from Oga mouth, Oga John Yakubu. And by the grace of God, the future is bright.
Very bright.
We go create time, come back to talk on this issue of gas as soon as possible. Because we want, if now we want drag and come out.
I'm ready to come out.
We will drag and want go for protest. We got this matter because the poor masses we have suffered enough. I just surprised the Africa too, we should often say, I'm confidential. My children, don't boil water. You know, it's terrible.
Yeah, it is.
It's terrible.
If I were told that gas will sell for 10,000 for 12.5 kg, I will not believe you. I'm telling you, I've been in the business for 19 years. Wow. 2003 till now, 19 years. So this is the worst period ever in terms of LPG. The worst ever.
The issue of Nigeria.
Nigeria, worst ever. How?
Hi people. I'm also like very interested to listen more, but when I don't worry, we'll create time to come back again, talk more on this gas issue. But basically, no big gas issue bring us come, and as something then lead to something. So, final word to our people, sir.
Well, I want to thank Edo people. I have lived all my life in Edo. I've had the opportunity to serve them. I will say Edo as well, though one out of the 18 local government, I've had the opportunities to serve them. And I'm happy that anywhere I go to today, my people from that local government still welcome me with an open hand. I want to thank them for that and also promise them that given the opportunity, in any other respect, whether it's political, social, or what have you, John Yakubu is still ready to do that. Why? I would have showed you a check. I will still show you when next we meet, Apostle. I was traveling to US. I will still show you. I was traveling to US and I met a bishop from Urumi in the aircraft. It's late now. May his soul rest in peace. Amen. He walked through me and greeted me. We greeted. I said, oh, you are Yakubu? I said, yes. Oh, you are the local government chairman of my council? I said, yes, sir. I said, okay, you did very well. That was wonderful. He walked back to his seat and came back with a check of $500.
Wow.
I still have the check till today because I was not able to cash it in US. He gave me the check and said, look, whatever you want, spend this for yourself when you get to the United States. I got there. Unfortunately, I needed 2 expiring ID cards to be able to clear it. I gave them my passport, which was acceptable to them, but I needed another ID card.
But already expired.
That have an expiring date. For them to give me the value of that check. They said, no, you only have one, we will not give you. So I still have that check in my wallet till today.
Why did you not return it back to the man?
No, we didn't see. I only saw him in Bishop Okoso's church when he came for Thanksgiving and the harvest. And I gave them that testimony that day, and I showed them the check. I still have the check.
Thank you, my people. Let's continue to pray for a better Nigeria and for a better Edo. 2023 just by the corner. but I know by God's grace, the right candidate will emerge. 2024 will soon land. By the grace of God, God holds the future. So please, let's join together to make Edo great again. Remember, me, I know the enemy of progress. So come, as we build our platform, that to share with features and take change the negative narrative about governance in Nigeria. Of course, Edo, with the charity, they say it begins at home. Why I always say, oh, Esan, oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Come out of the
Esan.